Welcome to the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show, a broadcast service of globalbusinessnews.net.
This episode from the meeting room of Global TV Talk Show is brought to you by
The Bridge School, the accredited international online private school of choice, at bridgek12.org.
Porch Light Rental and Destination Services. Reduce your renter lump sum or managed relocation costs. Visit them at porchlightrental.com.
And by airs.com. With our full range of services, we can help design and manage your international relocation. Find us at airs.com.
Primestone Partners, featuring corporate, government, and developer housing solutions, as well as senior-level advisory services. Find them at primestonepartners.com.
And by International Auto Source. We are the vehicle experts for expats, featuring all major brands of automobiles with flexible solutions and financing. On the web at intlauto.com.
Become a global player in your field.
Cross Culture to Go provides virtual support for your global business and career success.
We can help you thrive in 140 plus countries and markets.
On the web at crossculturetogo.com.
This is Ed Cohen in San Diego, California, and today is Friday. It's May 7, 2021. The sun has come out from the May gray of San Diego coastal. And this is a very important show today for people who are concerned about Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and other disorders. Our focus today is about findneurohelp.org. And two guys with me on the screen here, Mark Colo in Southern California, and Scott Scoville. Where are you? Are you in Utah?
I'm in Utah, yes.
Yeah, great. Well, welcome. Let's go to Mark Colo. Tell us about findneurohelp.org, please.
Well, we're a 501c3, a nonprofit charity that's focused on just helping people that get these chronic neurological diseases. There are certain stages that people go through when they get one of these chronic illnesses. And it's oftentimes almost sequential. The biggest concern when a person gets diagnosed is, of course, how much longer can I go with this thing? Some people say, oh, this is so huge, I don't know if I can handle this. Some people launch into depression, others just get caught up in worries. And it's very common, Ed, when people get diagnosed as such, that they go to the past to look for answers, to the future, to imagine what it's going to be like, but they forget to stay in the present. And that's where we need to remember to stay. The present is also...
But the present is for people who are diagnosed and just given the notice, or they're dealing with the impact, I would assume. I don't have that yet. But as I mentioned earlier, my dad had Alzheimer's at the end. He didn't know who I was for like 2 years or so at the end. And Joanne's mom had a severe case, and it runs in their family. So we'll see what's going to happen here. So, Scott, how does the disease impact individuals, and how can your organization address the needs of people who don't have the money to invest?
Well, thanks, Ed. First, I think the impact of the disease will have an influence on people in many different ways. For example, a stroke can be boom, it's right there, and all of a sudden it can be a dramatic change in someone's life. Whereas you're in a situation with the dementia, Alzheimer's, you saw that coming, and slowly it kind of, approached. And with Mark, with his Parkinson's, he can see that coming. When I had my stroke, it was just boom. It was, like everything changed, right away. And so it impacts people differently as to how the disease but the questions that are asked are quite commonly the same, as Mark was mentioning about the present, is how do I deal with this now? What does my future look like in light of this new circumstance? And that's where Find Neuro Help wants to be there as an advocate for individuals and helping them to be able to deal with the present, but not deal with it alone. And Find Neuro Hope's objective is to provide an advocate. We call it a transitional support guide, or TSG, a social worker who's there with them, helping them, answering their questions, being a guide, ensuring that they're getting the assistance they need. And if they can't afford it, Find Neuro Help's there to be able to provide by way of donations, assistance to them. But if they have the financial means, they just may not have the direction they need to know what are the questions to ask and where to get those answers.
Yeah, Mark, tell us about this. What we're looking on the screen now, the Perimeter of Hope. What does this all mean?
The Perimeter of Hope is our service model that we came up with, and it's created in part based on some of the individuals we've talked to who have had chronic illnesses and diseases they've contracted. It tends to be pretty common and pretty consistent with most patients, but the individual goes through a number of areas of concern, and again, almost sequentially, and it just moves from one to the next, to the next, to the next, and until these concerns are addressed, or until they're effectively handled, then that individual is going to be in constant concern, continual worry. They'll have a harder time getting to a place of peace. And that's what we want to get them to. We want to get them to where they have a sense of peace, that everything else that could be difficult in the future is taken care of for them, that the knot's tied off, so to speak, and they can not have to worry and stay awake at night trying to figure out what they're going to do next.
Mark, I've heard that your organization, findneurohelp.org, and your board are philanthropic, helping people who need some financial guidance and help. I don't want you to get into a lot of detail here, but just give us an idea, give our audience an idea of what that really means.
Well, Ed, there's two directions we go in. We still help fund research to find a cure. That's one direction we go, and so we still have maintained our Find Cures trademark and that line of service, and that was primarily funding research. But the bigger focus now is just, again, helping individuals that have these conditions to come to them and say, look, I know you've got this particular issue and your health coverage doesn't really cover that. We can help, we can pay for that, or we can arrange for that on your behalf, and at no extra fee to them. No extra cost to them. We'll get some of our providers, we'll do it pro bono. But that's kind of where most of our energy and resources go, are to those two needs.
And being a 501(c), you're looking for underwriters, you're looking for co-sponsors who can help you do more, right?
We are, yeah. We work on that. That's a concern of ours every day. We have a tournament coming up, golf tournament, which we're excited about, and we're going to use that to attract some additional sponsors that might be interested in golf and our cause. So that's going to be one way that we get our message out there.
What's the phone number? Is there an 800 number?
It is. It's 800-415-HOPE, which is HOPE.
Mark, it's 494. Remember, it's not 800. It's 949. Sorry.
Oh yeah, 949-415. Right.
Okay, just repeat it from the top again.
949-415-HOPE, HOPE.
Okay, so it's not an 800 number.
No.
Okay. 949. Say it again.
949-415-HOPE.
Cool. All right. So now, what makes, just in summary here before we move forward, what makes findneuralhelp.org different from other fundraising groups? Everybody's looking for money these days. But we've just heard about the perimeter of hope and how it can help people think things through, and how it can help families understand more and not panic, perhaps, right?
Mhm.
So talk about your vision again.
Okay, our main focus, Ed, is we want to be a resource for individuals that get these diagnoses. That's first and foremost. We want them to know that we're here to help them answer all their questions that are going to keep them awake at night. We want them to know that we're here as an advocate for the duration of the relationship. We're not just one service and then we'll see you later. We want to be with them by their side as long as they need us to be able to help them with what they need. Most of the services we will provide for them are non-medical related services. So it's not so much as a nurse or a scientist or a doctor in many instances. Many instances, it's a service that will support their main concern. And again, there's about 6 of them. And the first is mental wellness, then you got financial planning, you've got estate planning, you've got relocation, you've got education. We've issued grants to individuals that are working on their graduate degrees in neurology. So we help the university at that level. And we also want to provide research and information for the individual. One thing I'll add to that, Ed, is that, from my background, I've been in relocation transportation for 40 years. The last 5 or 6 years, my focus has been primarily on relocating research scientists from all points around the country. And I get to meet these people on a one-to-one basis and get to know about their research, what they're doing, and what progress is being made in these different diseases. And that's been a wonderful chapter in my life, to be able to do all of that, to gather all of these resources. We probably have the largest academic resource list for anywhere in the industry for individuals that are specialty in neurology. So just a great number of individuals that are on the cutting edge. That'll be the next individuals to find cures for these various diseases. So we feel very fortunate to have that.
And I just want to add to that, one other thing we want to do is to help inform people. And with you and what you've offered, our hope is that we can put together podcasts where we bring those experts that Mark has talked about, and you have an opportunity to interview them and kind of layman's terms, help people understand more about the disease, what research is going on, and things like that, so that we're providing additional information to that community.
Thank you, Scott. I'm very happy to help. So with the good graces of our advertisers, we are able to keep going, and so we're also, although we're not a 501(c), we're just money grubbing, profit making, hopefully. So tell us again about, yes, Scott.
Never too late. Yeah, never too late.
Something that's really neat is that the Bridge School partners with various organizations to provide learning for their students. For example, we partner with a major ballet company, and we are able to enroll several of their students into our school. So now not only is the student able to participate in a school and have a seamless transition while they're very active in their ballet career, but now they have other dancers that are with them that are doing some of the same courses. So it's almost becoming a camaraderie where they're taking similar courses, they're working together on their ballet, and really being able to form this great partnership with these organizations to provide a needed service. A lot of times there are student athletes who will spend hours and hours at the gym or at the basketball courts, wherever it is. And if they're attending a traditional school, they're in school from 8 to 3. They get a quick snack, and then they're at the gym for 3 to 4 hours in the evening. Coming to us and having that partnership, they're able to break that up throughout the day. They can have a morning practice, get some schooling in, have an afternoon practice, finish their schooling in the evening. So there's that flexibility. And additionally, if there are tournaments or performances, it's fantastic, because if there's a week where they have shows straight through, they can take that week off of learning and then pick back up when they're done. So it offers this great flexibility. And for the program owners of these sports leagues, it is a win-win situation for them, because they see this need. They see this need that their students need to make sure that they are obtaining the grades necessary to be successful adults in our country and in other countries. But it provides them an environment where they can be successful at both.
So, Mark, if you don't mind, just tell us one more time. Describe your, I'm going to read this. So describe your network of suppliers and knowledge resources. If you could just enumerate real clear.
Well, we have specialists in each category. We have for our mental health and wellness, we have a group that we work with. It's kind of a third party, and they have relationships with counselors and other nurse practitioners. They're well below market cost, so there's a good savings there. But we have that resource tied up, and so we introduced what's called a transitional support guide, which is a TSG, and they'll be the single point of contact to facilitate that third-party services for that individual. And then the second is financial planners. We have some financial planners that we've vetted to make sure that they had the experience in financial planning, but also had a background in neurology and chronic illnesses. That's another thing that we require. Down the road, I see us doing a certification process, that when we have these individuals that qualify into our network, that they'll be well trained and well educated on every facet of what that individual might be considering and concerned about. So we'll have actually a sit-down board test. We'll have to pass a test and answer all the right questions to prove that individual is qualified.
So can you address this? And if I'm repeating myself, please just clue me in. People can call in and get advice as like they don't help people hold hands, get people to relax more. I mean, you're a living example of working to take control of something which is beyond your control. And I think people panic and they don't understand until they have practical info.
That's very true, Ed. The analogy I use oftentimes when I'm talking about this situation is the movie Kung Fu Panda. I don't know if you've seen that movie before, Ed, but it's a great animated cartoon. I love that movie. There's a scene where Po is running down the hill screaming, yelling that Kuai Lung has escaped from the impenetrable prison. He's running to the town. He's going to kill everybody, and we're all going to be gone. And his master is like his tortoise that's all sitting in a lotus position. He unfolds himself, gets down real slow. He says, "Not to worry, not to worry." Says the past is history, the future a mystery. Today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. So it's kind of like, that's kind of how the perspective is that we have to keep ourselves in the moment. And that's one thing that we try and do. We try and help the individual find where are they in the present, where do they need to be in the present, and how can we help them get there if they're not there or anywhere close to that.
So to what extent are you knowledgeable about insurance that will take care of visits and guidance and medicines, I guess?
Yeah, that would be through our third party, Ed. So we would use our third party for that kind of coverage.
Okay, third party meaning an insurance carrier.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good. All right, so Scott, would you like to add to this potpourri of information that we're sharing, particularly your insight about, with your own experience, stroke? I mean, sounds like it's a frightening thing.
Yeah, well, it can be. I'm very blessed. My stroke allowed me to be, pretty much full recovery, but that isn't the case for many people that have strokes. And but what Mark and I and our board really feel is that these individuals and the family need someone that will be there as kind of as an advisor, as an advocate, and a resource for them and helping them in that process. And that's what our objective is to put this transitional support guide at the beck and call of the family to be able to answer their questions. They will go in and do an initial assessment to determine what are some things. They'll ask them questions that maybe they haven't thought about, or they've already thought about and they've already taken care of. But if they haven't thought about it and they haven't taken care of those areas and they think it's important, then we want to be there to provide these third-party experts, to be able to assist them. And that's where we feel like our model is a little bit different in the sense that, we want to be there for all aspects of the life that they're now having to deal with this new reality that they have as a result of their neurological condition.
So we're older white guys here, but this is for everybody, right? And I noticed on your list autism. So this is seemingly it seems like an epidemic with newborns and young kids.
Yeah, it's the neurological disorders impacts all ages, all races, and yeah, we are willing and desirous to help any and all those who have a neurological disease, and that we can be of assistance. And like you said, I think some it may just be a phone call and we're here, and they're like, yeah, we got it. We just needed a reference to a tax attorney, because we want to update our estate, and other than that, they're good. Versus someone that is in a situation, it's like, dire straits. Like, I don't know what to do. I have no hope. I feel like, the world has come to an end, and we want to be able to say, no, there is hope. There's more. You can make it. And we want to be there with you and to help you, and to let you know you're not alone.
So when somebody has an accident, they fall off a ladder, or they're in an auto, or they play football and they wind up with a concussion or something, is this a permanent, like a concussion? Is this a permanent thing? And does findneuralhelp.org get involved in temporary things like that?
Yeah, our really, for the most part, a lot of concussions, particularly kids have, they recuperate. But we had someone that we were helping that actually had a major, concussion that actually did impact the individual wasn't able to go back to work, So our focus is more that there's more lasting long-term, effects that impact it versus just a temporary type of a condition. Because the concussion can range from, you're out for a couple hours and you're back playing the game, 24 hours later versus, it can be pretty substantial.
Yeah. Well, Mark, I've enjoyed this and I've learned so much, and I'm sure our audience has learned a lot. If you'd like to sum up, Mark Colo, about what your short video is all about.
Oh, my short video?
Yeah, the one that shows on the PR.
Oh, okay. It's, to summarize, we recognize and we acknowledge that life is not always easy. I mean, it can be so hard at times, but we as an organization are convinced that we can get through it. Any individual can get through it. They might have to be taken to the limit, but they can get through it if they have the right resources and the right support. And that's what we're trying to create for these individuals, is to let them know, as Scott mentioned, there is hope. There is still a bright future ahead for you. And don't be all in doom and gloom and feeling it's all over, because it's not. It's not over. You have a lot of lifespan to live, and we're here to help make sure you enjoy it and make it through all that.
So now I introduce you to Larry Linton, who just retired from PwC as a law partner in Canada, and he a few years ago got into doing some running, and also became a drummer, a jazz drummer, to work out the shakes, or to get control, or to learn how to control it, right?
Yep.
And so I know you guys have hit it off, and that's really cool. So you have a golf tournament, which is a fundraiser as well as a networking device. So can people, I have to ask, can people with Parkinson's play golf?
I do it all the time, Ed. I'm on a mission to get to the point where I feel comfortable that I can actually land on the green in 3 to 4 strokes. I mean, it's
meaning the ball, not yourself.
Yeah, the ball landing on the green. Not myself. I wish I could. If I could do that, if I could do it myself, I'd be even happier. But but no. But it's golf is a frustrating sport.
Yeah, for me too. Yeah.
Harvey Pinnick, the pro at Austin Golf Course, once said, he said, "Yeah, golf is a series of mistakes with a few good shots in between." And that really is the game of golf. So I love it. It's challenging for me. It's one of the few sports that I can actually do now with this condition. My volleyball is gone. My surfing is gone. My snow skiing is gone. All these other things I love to do so much, or I can no longer do. But golf is one of those things where you can be pretty hung up and still be able to swing a putter and get lucky and get that ball to drop in the hole. So
great. Well, thank you, Producer Paul, for this added value that you're displaying. Scott, thank you for sharing. Would you like to sum up, have a closing argument?
I just want you to know, Ed, that we appreciate the opportunity to be able to talk about Find Neuro Help. And our objective, we're still small, but we really want to help people, and we want to be able to make an impact. And so if people feel that they're drawn to this and would like to be of assistance, they can call the number, or they can go on the website, findneurohelp.org. And we'd love to get input. We'd love to get volunteers. And I hate to say this, but always nonprofits are always asking for money. But our objective is the money is to really be able to help the individuals to be able to have that hope that they may not think exists, and so that they don't go through this disease alone, but that they go with someone, and they go with hope that they can make it. So thank you.
Mark Colo, what is that 949 number one more time for our audience?
949-415-HOPE, HOPE.
Okay, thank you very much for being on Global TV Talk Show. I welcome you guys to come back. We could do this once a month going forward to bring together news and information on a regular basis for our audience, okay?
That'd be great.
That'd be wonderful, Ed.
Yeah, thank you
So much.
I thank you guys, and be well. And
thank
you for watching out there in audience world. This is Global TV Talk Show signing off, and thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us in the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show.
Have a wonderful day, and stay safe.